The palace still slept, as if nothing had happened. No guards, no alarm, no trace of the storm that had ripped Aria's world apart. Only her heart knew the truth. She followed the whisper in her mind, the last words her father forced into the air. Find the keeper of the North Gate. If the world refused to save him, then she would. The ancient library doors groaned open, releasing a chill older than memory. Books trembled, pages fluttered without wind, and somewhere deep inside the silence, something called her name. Aria stepped deeper into the library, and the silence broke. A book floated off the shelf, then another, and another. Pages flipped like wings, circling her, testing her, searching her heart instead of her hands. She didn't run. She didn't hide. She looked at the magic without fear. If you brought me here, then show me how to save him. The runes around her brightened, as if they understood her pain. And then slowly one single ancient book drifted toward her. Bruised leather, golden symbol of a northern gate on its cover. It opened itself before her eyes. On its first page was a single line. The keeper of the North Gate appears only to a heart ready to lose itself for love. Aria's breath trembled. Tears shimmered in her eyes. I am ready, she whispered. At that moment, the runes exploded into golden sparks. The floor seal lit up beneath her feet, and the library came alive. Then, the air shifted. The golden sparks gathered, pulling themselves into the shape of a man. A cloak took form, then hands, then eyes ancient and bright as the northern stars. Aria couldn't breathe. She had never seen power look so human. The books lowered around her like quiet witnesses. Even the candle flame stilled, scared to flicker. The man studied her with calm, sorrowful eyes. You called me, he said, but his voice sounded like wind, like history. Aria swallowed. I need to save my father. For a moment, the keeper didn't speak. Something haunted flickered in his expression, as if he already knew the ending even before she asked. You found me, he whispered, because your heart is willing to break. The room dimmed, the runes darkened, as if truth itself weighed too much to shine. Aria stepped forward anyway. I don't care what it costs. I will pay anything. The keeper closed his eyes, not in anger, but in grief. You do not understand, he said softly. This curse does not feed on strength. It feeds on love. The light faded, and the library fell quiet again. But silence has a way of sounding louder than thunder. Aria stared up at him, waiting, hoping, as if her heart refused to accept pain until it was spoken. The keeper finally exhaled, like someone remembering a memory he wished he'd never held. The curse, he said slowly, was designed to punish love, not evil. Aria didn't understand. My father was cursed because he loved. Her voice shook, but her feet did not. The keeper nodded once painfully. He chose to protect someone long ago. He gave up his throne to shield a friend, and the curse bound itself to that sacrifice. Aria's world spun. So the chains, the suffering, they are because he cared? Yes, the keeper whispered. Kindness, real kindness, is dangerous magic. The curse feeds on it, and it will never release him, unless love offers itself again. Her candle flickered. Her heartbeat didn't. In other words, he said at last, to free your father, someone else must take his place. The books shuddered. The runes dimmed. The world narrowed around her breath. But Aria didn't take a step back. For a long moment, no one breathed. The library waited, books frozen in mid-air, runes trembling like dying stars. And then, the words no father should ever hear left the lips of a daughter. I will take his place. The candlelight trembled with her voice. Her knees shook, but her eyes stayed firm. She wasn't choosing death. She was choosing love. The keeper flinched as if struck. Child, do you understand what you are offering? Aria nodded through her tears. My father has carried that curse alone for years. I won't let him hurt anymore. Her voice cracked, but her courage did not. You said the curse feeds on love, and mine is strong enough. The keeper stepped back, horrified. No, you are too young. The curse will devour you faster than him. Aria looked down, then took a trembling breath. That doesn't matter. My father taught me how to live. Let me teach him how to be free. The words echoed, soft enough to break a heart, strong enough to move the world. The library vanished and Aria stood once more in the chamber as if the walls themselves had been waiting for her return. Golden chains of magic reached for her hungry, eager, choosing her. Her father gasped the way a man gasps when his worst fear becomes real. No, not you, not my child. Aria tried to step back, but love had already marked her and the curse had already accepted her choice. The chains wrapped around her wrists, soft as silk, fatal as fire. Aria, stop, her father cried, voice breaking. But she wasn't afraid anymore. If this ends your pain, then let it take me. Her father's face collapsed in agony, not the agony of chains, but of losing the only reason he had survived this long. Listen to me, he screamed, falling to his knees. I would rather suffer 1,000 lifetimes than watch you suffer for one moment. The chains rattled, ready to claim her. Aria shook her head through tears. I love you, father. He slammed his fist into the floor, blue sparks exploding around him. And I love you, he roared. And because I love you, I will not let this curse steal my daughter. The curse moved fast, faster than fear, faster than hope. Golden chains tightened around Aria, claiming her, sealing her fate. But a father's love moves faster than any magic ever created. He lunged forward, hands crashing around the chains. Take me instead. The chamber shook, stone split, air cracked like thunder. Blue magic from his body collided with the golden chains around hers. The world became light, brutal, blinding, burning. Aria screamed, not from pain but from watching him break. Father, stop! But he didn't hear her. He didn't want to. Every breath left in him, every piece of strength he had hidden for her, he burned it all to save his child. The curse fought back, wrapping around them both, blue and gold tearing the air apart. And then with a shattering roar, the magic snapped. Chains burst into dust, blue sparks ripping through the chamber like a star dying. The blast threw Aria backward, slamming her onto the floor. Her father didn't move. Silence returned first. No roar, no magic, no heartbeat in the walls. Just silence, and the sound of a world trying to breathe again. Aria opened her eyes slowly and pain crawled back into her bones. Smoke hung in the air. Golden dust settled on her skin. And then she saw him, her father, lying still, like someone who had given everything he had ever been. Her voice cracked before her lips could form his name. Father? She pushed herself across the floor, hands shaking, legs barely obeying her. Every inch she moved felt like a lifetime. Father, please? Her whisper crumbled into a sob. She placed her hand on his cold, but still real. The world did nothing. The magic did nothing. Nothing moved. And for the first time in her life, Aria wished the world would stop spinning entirely. She bowed her head against his chest and cried like a child who had no strength left to pretend anymore. For a moment, the world stayed broken. Golden dust drifted, blue ashes faded, and time held its breath. Aria pressed her forehead against her father's hand, her tears falling onto his skin like tiny pieces of her heart. But the chamber stayed silent. The magic had stopped, and there was no answer, no movement, no breath. Aria whispered, voice shaking, please, don't leave me. Not now, not after everything. And then something changed. A single tear slid from Aria's cheek, down to his chest, right over the place the curse had lived. The dust stirred, light rippled across his body, and his fingers moved. Aria. His voice was weak but alive. She gasped, and joy replaced fear instantly. She threw her arms around him, sobbing, you came back. You came back to me. He held her, trembling with love that no curse could destroy. Nothing in this world could ever make me stop loving you. Sunlight poured through the broken ceiling, and for the first time in years, they were simply father and daughter. Together, they walked toward the light, toward freedom, toward life. Because in the end, magic was never the chains that bound them. Magic was the love that saved them. For the first time since the curse began, a mother saw her child and her husband together again. The world didn't need magic anymore, because love had already done the impossible. The queen didn't speak, not with words. She ran. She held her daughter, and the tears on her face said everything. A family broken by darkness, finally whole in the light. And when the palace heard the news, joy didn't just return, it exploded. Bells rang across the kingdom. Children threw flowers into the air. Every doorway glowed. Every heart glowed. Because the darkness was gone. Because the king had risen. Because the princess had become the light that saved them all. She wasn't just Aria. She wasn't just the heir. She was the girl who broke the curse not with power, but with love. And from that day on, people told a new fairy tale. The princess who saved a kingdom not by her crown, but by her heart. If Aria's courage and a father's love touched your heart today, then don't leave just yet. Tell me in the comments, what would you sacrifice for someone you love? Your thoughts inspire the next chapters of our magical world, so make sure to like the video, share your favorite moment in the comments. Subscribe and turn on the bell because Aria's journey is far from over. And if you want more magical stories like this one, just let me know your wish might become the next adventure.